Well, let's get a reaction now from the official opposition. Candice Bergen is the interim leader of the Conservative Party. She's with me now. Ms. Bergen, good to see you again. What's your reaction to this budget unveiled today?
Well, from our look at it, we can see it's an NDP budget. It's delivered by an NDP Liberal government, but it definitely is a budget that has been asked for by the NDP and that the Prime Minister is giving them. He's taken the money that he's been collecting from Canadians who suffered through inflation over the last year, and using that money to pay for the promises that he's made to the NDP, and in turn the NDP are going to prop him up. So we're disappointed. We had some things that we wanted to see. We're not seeing them, including tax cuts for Canadians, some relief for Canadians, some relief from spending, which would control inflation, and then something that would seriously address the housing inflation crisis that's also going on. And we saw none of those things addressed.
Right. So there's a deal with the NDP, but the spending in this budget is actually a lot lower than new spending in other Liberal budgets, a lot lower than people thought it might be. The deficit will fall faster than earlier projected, and the debt to GDP ratio will fall more quickly as well. How significant do you think those markers are?
Well, it's ironic. We've become so accustomed to the Liberals' massive spending that when we see over $30 billion in spending, we think that's not too bad. They collected $39 billion from everyday Canadians paying taxes on essentials like gasoline and they're using it to pay for spending. They have doubled the deficit since they took government. They have increased permanent government by 50%, and in the last 2 years by 25%. This Liberal Party is unrecognizable. They are not the party they were 10 or 20 years ago. They have moved so far to the ranks of the NDP that somehow now we say it's a good thing when they're only spending $39 billion. $450 billion actually this year is going to be the deficit.
Let me ask you about the housing measures here. $10 billion to make housing more affordable, to create more housing, dampen foreign demand, and work on the supply side. How do you feel about those measures?
Well, we very much agree with measures that would limit foreign ownership. The announcement that we've seen today has a lot of gaps in it, and so we're not sure that it will actually address the problem of foreign ownership when it comes to housing inflation. But secondly, one of the biggest contributors to housing inflation in Canada is lack of supply, lack of houses being built across the country. We're not seeing any measures in this budget that would address that. That really needs to be addressed at the municipal level, and the federal government has a role to play, but they have to first of all recognize it's not them throwing a few billion here or there at municipalities that will solve the problem. They need to incentivize, whether it's carrots or sticks, they need to incentivize municipalities and cities to allow builders to build so that more homes, especially entry-level homes, will be built across the country. That will be, in part, that will help lower the cost of housing. The programs that we did see them announce in terms of kind of a blended RSP and TFSA program really won't have any effect for many years. So those programs will see not one house built or one house purchased this year.
Okay, so safe to say, just quickly, the Conservatives will be voting against this budget.
That's right. We will never support an NDP budget.